big game breakdown powered by UWager. Cavs and the Celtics, no line. It's a back-to-back for Cleveland. Market's unsure what Lou and the Cavs will do here. And the money quote last night after the win against Orlando, LeBron said, guys, I've been to 6 straight finals. Don't ask me about important regular season games. Your line is what if everyone plays?
If everyone plays, Boston's going to be the chalk here. We're looking at the Celtics -2.5, -3 at home. That looks like the line to me. But again, that's only if everyone plays. And we're going to see this repeatedly over the back. You know, what do we got? About a week and a half left in the regular season for the NBA. You know, lots of games aren't going to be lined in the early morning hours when we record. So it's just how it is. We're going to have to talk about some games without lines and make assumptions about where these lines are going to be, at least for the next week or so.
Games on ESPN, 5 o'clock Pacific. Home team wins all 3. Cleveland was laying 10.5, won 128-122. December 29th, Cleveland was laying 6. They won by 6 in a shootout. And then March 1st, Boston was 2. They won 103-99. Both teams are tied for the 1 seed. But if Cleveland wins, obviously it's 3 out of 4. They're up 1 in essentially a 2-game lead because they would control the tiebreaker. Look at the remaining schedule after this. Boston goes to Atlanta and Charlotte, and they get Brooklyn and Milwaukee at home. The Cavs have a home-and-home against Atlanta. Tough road game at Miami. And then home against Toronto. What do we think of the Lou effect here, Teddy?
Well, I know this, that Cleveland has the tougher of the 2 schedules down the stretch. All right, so this game likely to go a long way towards determining who does have home court advantage in the Eastern Conference. And, you know, in reading about it, it appears to me it means a lot more for Boston than it does for Cleveland. Cleveland knows they can win games on the road. For the Celtics, very much a statement if they can get this done. Before I talk about the Lou effect, sorry, Pauly, excuse me. I want to talk about the point spreads for those first 3 matchups. And you put it out. The first game, the Cavs are -10.5. The second game, the Cavs are -6. The third game, the Celtics are 2. Now, obviously, the Celtics are 2-point chalk at home, but it just goes to show you where Cleveland was power rated in comparison to Boston earlier in the season. The first game was, a week into the campaign, and the Cavs were -10.5 at home against Boston. We're not seeing Cleveland going to be double-digit chalk against the Celtics, regardless of how many teams how many games these 2 teams play the rest of the way. So we talk about the Lou effect, and it makes a ton of sense. Here, let's start with this. Look at the post-All-Star break stats. Let's put these graphics up here. All right. The Celtics with the better record. They don't have this better offensive numbers, but dramatically better defensive numbers than Cavs, using points per 100 possession, as always, like we do here on Sportsbet. And, of course, the net is showing that the Celtics about 4 points better than Cleveland since the All-Star break. But here's the second graph, and look at this. The Lou effect on the Cleveland defense. Now, we start with 2016. The pre-All-Star break, they're number 7. 2016 post-All-Star break, they're number 12. Then 2017 pre-break, they're 20, and now they're 29th since the All-Star break. Now note, that first little segment was mostly David Blatt. Since then, it's been all Tyronn Lue, and the Cavs defense has declined in every schedule pocket since Tyronn Lue took over as the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach.
Knockout information there. Stevens, 3-1-1 ATS against Lou. Is there an advantage at point guard for the Celtics? Boston can use Bradley or Smart on Kyrie. Cleveland does not have a counter for Isaiah Thomas except for Kyrie, and he can't guard Teddy. You got Shumpert and Smith. They aren't quick enough to stay in front of him, and Williams is too old and can't defend either. You know, that's the problem. Everyone they brought in can score, but none of them can play defense. They brought in Corver. You know, Fry couldn't defend as well, although they had him last year, and they bring in both Williams. But the real plus-minus and defense and point guards of the 32 track, look at this. Isaiah's 32nd, and Kyrie is 26th, Teddy.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about a great defensive matchup at the point. And remember, Shumpert was the guy who was kind of supposed to be their perimeter defensive stopper when they brought him in. So he was the one guy that kind of has that defensive mentality. But, yeah, Kyrie's not staying in front of Isaiah. Darren Williams isn't staying in front of Isaiah. But Isaiah's not staying in front of anyone anyway. The difference is that Thomas can be hidden. They can hide him on Shumpert. Maybe they can hide him on Smith. Irving is basically going to be forced to guard Thomas, and that may provide a legitimate matchup edge for the Boston Celtics somewhere down the line. Don't know if it's going to matter tonight, but it could matter before the season is through.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.